Okay, so I already primed my eyelids with Tarte Shape Tape while I was doing my makeup, and obviously it's like all creased up, so I'm just gonna go over it with my sponge. Hopefully I don't get powder all over it before it is set. So the first shade I'm going to be taking is Hush Hush. I'm gonna be using my Morphe M504 brush, and I picked some up, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna start right out here. And what I like to do is just kind of put it there first, just like that, and then kind of blend it in here. So this right here is 2 layers, and that's me like actually taking the shadow and just kind of doing that. But there is not that much fallout, as you guys can see. Like, it is so great. I'm gonna do the other eye now. So as you guys can see, I went ahead and applied this shade and it blended beautifully. I had no patchiness, no problem blending it. It looks great. So then I'm going to take Sparks and Rockstar, 2 of my favorite shades. I'm going to be taking my Morphe M433 brush, M433 brush, and this is going to be a more smaller, more precise crease brush. So I'm taking 2 little taps of this one, just like that. And then, 2 taps of that one, just like that. And I'm going to tap off the excess a little, and I'm going to start putting it right out here. Look at that, you guys. Just look at that. Oh my gosh. Those 2 colors for me are so gorgeous. I'm going to do the same thing. 2 little taps. Tap off the excess. And I'm just applying this in here. Look how pigmented that is. Oh my god, I can't get over it. Look how strong that purple is. Like, not strong. It's so pigmented and it's so true to color. Like, most of the times when I use a purple, like, it kind of fades away or it starts to look darker than it really does on the pan, and I don't know, but I am just loving this shade so much. I've been using it so much lately. Can I stop saying so much? But yeah, just look at that. I feel like those 2 mixed together are perfection. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the shade Bling Bling, and I'm gonna be taking a brush first. This is the Wet n Wild little brush. Now, I know this brush is only $1, but it's a really good brush. I've seen so many people always use it for their shimmer shades. I've used it in the past for my other shimmer shades. I'm just gonna take some around the edges just like that. And let's apply it and see what it does. You see that? I'm gonna go in a little bit more, just like I did earlier. So as you can see, the shade itself is very, very pretty, but like, there's little areas that get a really good touch, and then there's areas like here where it looks like it didn't really stick. Now on camera, it's probably looking pretty freaking good, but I'm letting you know right now, in person, it's more like, it looks a little bit more patchy, which to me, ugh, it's not my favorite thing. I wish it could just kind of glide on and look all like one seamless thing, but it just doesn't, it doesn't work like that, especially with a brush. So I'm going to be taking my finger now, don't mind my nasty ass nails, and I'm going to swirl it a little there, and I'm going to do this side, and I'm just going to press down and apply. Seeing the difference, I feel like the finger helps a little bit more for it to not look so patchy, but at the same time, I mean, it's on though. It's on better than it is here, I believe. So that's that. That's what it looks like with the finger. That's what it looks like with the brush. Now I'm just going to go over it with the finger here so y'all could see like, oh yeah, that looks so much more better. I'm going to be taking my glitter primer, and I use this stuff for every single shadow that I put on Shimmer Shadow. Like, I'm just obsessed with it ever since I figured it out that I, like, it just, everything that touches it, it just sticks on and it stays, and that's why I love using this. Now this is the reason why I keep these palettes and why I don't mind them, because if I have this glitter primer, this glitter primer, then that's all I need. So I am going to put a little bit on the back of my hand like that, and with my finger, blend it a little into the skin, kind of melt it, and now I'm gonna go over that. And I'm taking that same shadow and applying it. Ooh, yes, hunty. This is what I love. You see that? You see that difference? Like, bam. It's gorgeous. Now, this is what glitter primer does with these shadows. So, like, I don't complain, you guys. I'm like, if every time I put this glitter primer on and it's gonna make these shadows look like this, then hunty, I am all about it. I will work with it. I'm so used to using it all the time that I don't even mind doing it. Like, look how fast this is. It's so fast. You get the finger, you put it on there, and then you grab the shadow. Just glide it on there, hunty. You glide it on there. Now, of course, using your finger, you're going to be less precise. Kind of went a little too high up there, but I just love using my finger, you guys. And if you have nails, this is obviously going to be a task, but the beauty of not having any fake nails is that you can put this on like nothing. So now what I'm going to do, I went way too high up on this eye, so I'm going to take my Morphe M433 again, and taking more Rockstar and Sparks, and I'm going to kind of go around the edges and blend. Since that palette doesn't really have like a brow highlight or anything like that, I'm just going to go with my Jaclyn Hill, the first Morphe palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade mixed with this shade, and I'm going to be applying that in the inner corner, and I'm also applying it on as my brow highlight, sorry. I also forgot to tell you guys that I did do my lower lash line just because I feel like that's boring, and I just went ahead and took the same shades and blended them underneath the eyes. Using this little pencil brush, sorry, I'm gonna take Mystic. I'm gonna be applying it in the outer V, just a little bit to add a little bit more darkness and dimension. So this is the final eye look, well, not the eye look, sorry, the eyeshadow look. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of liner, lashes, and just finish up the rest of my face and just talk about the palette and come back with all of my thoughts. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, oh my god, I have been wanting to just refilm this video. So I filmed it the first time when I first got my palettes, and I was super excited, and well, I'm still super excited to film it, but my hair, I filmed the video first off and there was a lot of blurry parts and my hair looked really, really bad now that I look back at it. I did not want to post that video. It was just really crappy quality. It wasn't as crisp as I wanted it to be, and it just wasn't the best. So I was like, let me re-record it when I fix my hair. So I did it last night, and I am just in love with the way that it came out. I mean, it's getting there, you guys. It's finally like very cool toned and all one color. So super, super stoked about that. So I was like, okay, finally I can do my makeup, I can feel really good, and I can film this video for you guys. So I know there's a lot of videos out there on this palette already of the collection, but I always like to show you guys my opinion, show you how I feel about certain things, and this is something that I didn't want to let just pass. There's still a lot of controversy on these palettes, and I wanted to see if I could maybe clarify your brain a little bit, your mind, your brain, whatever. I was gonna say your mind, brain came out, whatever. So I have them here in my hand. So this is what it looks like. I'm sure all of you have already seen what the little case looks like. It comes in this box, but I'm just gonna throw that away because I just think the display itself is just so cute. Who would want to just keep it in that box, right? Maybe for traveling, actually, that'd be a good idea, so these don't pop out. Actually, I think I'm gonna keep that. Sorry. Okay, so when you open it, it has this little thing where you can kind of like slide them in and out. Who's texting me? Okay. So yeah, you pop them out and then you have these 4 palettes. Oh my god, like they are so gorgeous. Ugh. Okay, so actually I think I should really zoom in and focus. On my last video, I was kind of showing them off like that and they were really blurry. My camera doesn't have autofocus, which really sucks. I need to get a better camera, you guys, because that ain't cutting it. There was so many blurry parts because my thing just doesn't autofocus. So okay, so the first palette that I'm showing y'all is the Dark Magic palette. This honestly was one of the palettes I was really excited about for wintertime because it has all these greens, these blues, these browns, all those beautiful shimmer shades. Sorry, I'm getting out of the picture. Don't mind my nails, you guys. I did not have time right now to redo them, so don't judge. But yeah, these colors are gorgeous. Now, the only color that I'm very like kind of upset about is this shade right here. I'm gonna be playing with it a little bit more. I haven't actually like completely played with it. I played it a little bit with it a little bit and I put it on my lid and it just kept coming off. So I need to try that again, but other than that, all of these shades work really nicely. I've tried them and I think they are great. These shades here, you guys, I mean, come on. Gorgeous shades. Good Gina. Okay, so next up we have the Ring the Alarm palette, which is one of my favorite palettes from this collection, you guys. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's another warm palette. I was kind of bored, but blending these shadows into my eyes using this shade right here, Lolly, it is so gorgeous, you guys. I made such a pretty look with it and I'm obsessed and I love it. And if I recommend any of these palettes, it's gonna be the Bling Boss, which I'm gonna show you right now, and this one right here. This one is such a great palette, you guys. I highly recommend this one. So speaking of that palette, I just wanted to show you guys the look that I'm talking about. I think it looked really pretty. This is the look that I filmed last time, just so y'all know, but just so y'all could see it. Okay, so now we have the, why does it look blurry? I'm so confused. We have the Bling Boss palette, which I used today in my video. This is hands down my favorite. First off, because of the shades. I knew right off the bat that just looking at these shades, I was going to be obsessed. This shade right here is my favorite, then this one, then this one. Oh my god, no, this one, sorry. They are gorgeous, they're beautiful, and I cannot wait to make more looks with this. If there's any palette that I'm going to recommend, it's going to be this one because it is just gorgeous. The shades are beautiful, they blend nicely, and yeah, it is super nice. So last but not least, we have the Arm and Gorgeous palette, which I will say this is my least kind of favorite palette. All of the matte shades are amazing. I'm not someone that really uses these type of shades like this one or this one a lot, so I definitely need to get out of my comfort zone and use it a little bit more, but that's the only reason why it's not my favorite. But these other shades, except this shade, again, it reminds me so much of that other shade that's in the other palette, and it just, for some reason, it's not my favorite. I need to play with it a little bit more. The last time that I used it, it wasn't sticking to my lid, but other than that, this one is a really good palette if you love these type of shades. Okay, so now that I showed you guys all of the palettes close up, I want to go ahead and start talking about them. So I think I'm going to start off with the stuff that I love about the palettes and then some things that I really just I'm not too happy about. Now, it's nothing super bad, just don't, okay? It's not that bad. So Jaclyn Hill, whenever she was talking about these palettes, she was saying how she wanted them to be very like friendly, user friendly. When it comes to all of her matte shades, I have to say I love every one of them except this shade right here. I don't know what it is, you guys. They have it in this palette and they also have it in the Armed and Gorgeous palette. I'm so sorry. If you swatch both of these side by side, I tell you what, they look exactly the same. I don't see any difference. Actually, let me swatch them. So this is from this is Top Secret. I'm gonna take a little bit and swatch it real quick. Right here. So that's Top Secret, and then I'm gonna take the Dark Magic palette, this one, and I'm gonna swatch Potion. I think Potion is a little lighter, I'm not gonna lie, but swatching both, oh my god, just guys, okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Hold on. hold up. Okay, look at that. I got a good amount on my finger of both of the shadows, and look at how they swatched on my hand. I'm not even, okay, I'm someone that loves, hold on, to give shadows the benefit of the doubt. I'm grabbing it again. Let's put potion. Look, I have a really good amount. You see my finger? So yeah, I'm just gonna try to just do a pretty look with them. I mean, my sister did a really pretty look with those green shades, and I mean, they worked really well. I mean, they looked really nice and pigmented, so I don't know, I'm just gonna try and work with them and see what happens. But other than that, all of the other matte shades, you guys, I am in love with. I think they're such great quality. When it comes to fallout with these, I just, I love the fact that there is rarely any fallout. You put your brush in there and even if you swirl it around a little, like, you will not get as much fallout as the Anastasia palettes, as other Tarte palettes that I've used. I mean, I feel like I'm not freaking finishing half my eyeshadow when I'm swirling my brush in there, which I mean, I never swirl my brush, but like when I even tap it on there. As you guys saw when I was doing my eye look, I did this very intense, you know, halo look, kind of dark, grungy, and there was barely any fallout on my eyes underneath right here. So I think that's great. The eyeshadows are so buildable, you guys. If you are a beginner and you want to start off with these eyeshadows, I know they can be very pigmented and very like, I feel like the transition shades in these palettes are not really like transition shades, because when you look at this palette, the one transition shade that you can see that you'll be like, oh, it's a transition shade is this one right here. But when you start putting it into your eyes, it kind of looks more like a crease shade. To me, it might be a little bit more of a transition shade, but to some people, like if you're very light complected, that's not going to be a transition shade for you, which I feel like the other Jaclyn Hill palette, the bigger one, that's where it comes through. It has a lot of transition shades. So if you have that one, you can really like incorporate it with these palettes and like find the perfect look. So yeah, but you could definitely build up the shades. If it's too intense at first, just take 2 little swipes and add, and just slowly add the pigment into the eyes. And you guys, these eyeshadows are just so great with that. Or if you're in a rush, like today, I just kind of went in there with the brush a little bit more heavy and kind of went in there in the crease right away, and I automatically got like that intensity that I wanted as a transition shade like right away. So you can either build it up or you could go straight in with the color, and it's very blendable and very easy. So these are the things that I really love about these palettes. Now, moving forward to some of the things that I don't like, first off is just, actually it's not even a lot, I think it's just like 1 or 2 things. These shimmer shades in these palettes, I just feel like you really have to work with. And I know so many people that have had this complaint that saying like, that they just do not apply unless, they do not apply good unless they're wet, or they are, you know, based with a primer or anything like that. I am gonna have to agree with that. When I apply these eyeshadows, I showed you guys in how I apply them with a brush, with my finger, and with an eyeshadow primer, which that's why right now it looks so intense, because I use an eyeshadow primer today. I just feel like they look very patchy for some reason. When you start adding the eyeshadows, the shimmers on the lid with a brush especially, I mean, you're gonna get some areas that are very pigmented, some that are coming off, and just very inconsistent on the eyelid, which is crazy. I mean, when I'm applying a shimmer shade, even if I don't wet it, you want it to apply, like, I have drugstore palettes that the moment I apply it, like, it's not as intense, but it looks all even. When I apply these shimmer shades on my eyes, it's very inconsistent on the eye. There's patchy areas, and that's one thing that really sucks. But once I put on the glitter primer, you just can't really tell. It looks very pretty. I honestly use my glitter primer for every shimmer shadow when it comes to my Norvina palette, all my Anastasia palettes, and my Too Faced palettes or Tarte palettes. I just go ahead with that. I've learned that that's gonna make my shimmers look as metallic as they can, and I love using it. This is my NYX glitter primer, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. Also, the best tip that I'm gonna give you today is use your finger. I know my sister doesn't like to use her finger, a lot of girls don't, or you have really long nails, but your finger is gonna be your best friend. I feel like these shadows are kind of like, not oily, but like they're very soft and smooth, and I feel like with your finger it really warms up in there into the lid. It sticks on better when you use your finger. I promise you guys, it makes the world of a difference. Now, I used the Bling Boss palette today, and I feel like that's definitely my favorite palette when it comes to even the shimmer shades in it. Today, it didn't look too horrible when I applied it with the brush, but the other day I used the this one, the Ring the Alarm palette, and when I tried to apply this shade with a brush, it was just not sticking on right at all. Like, you could barely see it, and it was just not that great. But I started using my finger and it looked great. I used the glitter primer and it looked amazing. So yes, that's the main complaint, and probably only complaint that I have is those two matte shades that just look horrible. I don't know why they even put two of them in the palettes. And the shimmer shades, I just feel like they do not work properly unless you wet them or you put glitter primer. I don't mind. A lot of people do mind. So if that's one thing that you've been thinking about, like, oh, is that really true? Yes, you have to wet them. You have to put something on them, or if not, they're just not gonna work for you. So go get yourself a little e.l.f. Makeup and mist set spray. That's what it is. I feel like it's only $3. If you don't want to use MAC Fix Plus to be wetting your eyeshadows, I know that's kind of expensive just to be using for that. Just use that and it'll really, really help your eyeshadows. So yes, I think this is all I have to say about the palettes, you guys. I was gonna swatch all of them, but there's so many swatches out there and I don't want this video to be super, super long. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I kind of clarified you a little bit with these palettes. Honestly, you guys, I feel like one thing that Jaclyn does a lot, I love her to death, but she really overhypes her products, and I know she gets excited. I know she just wants the best, you know, for you guys, but I feel like sometimes when she's talking, like, she's just like, these shadows are amazing, super, super high quality, and I know she said for the price, but she was just like, they're the most buttery eyeshadows I've ever tried in my life, the best, best, best. And when you, as a viewer, are looking at her video and you're watching her say all those things, your expectations are up here. They're high. You're just like, oh my god, these are gonna be amazing, you know? And they're only $50 or whatever the heck it is. I used a discount code, so it was like $48. But when you hear all this, you're just like expecting the best, the most incredible thing ever. And when you get palettes like these, where, like I said, they're very inconsistent when it comes to the shimmers, and, you know, some matte shades are kind of patchy, you're thinking like, okay, you're either a liar, which I know she's not a liar. I'm not saying she's a liar, but like, people are thinking like you're either lying, you're just hyping up your products, or they're shitty. So I still, though, feel like these palettes are worth every single penny. Like she said, for the price, they are amazing, you guys. Grab yourself some glitter primer or makeup setting spray so you can wet the shadows, the shimmers, and you're gonna be good to go. I still do not regret buying these palettes. I'm gonna keep them, and I'm gonna still make so many looks. I've already done so many pretty looks with these, and every time I use them, I get compliments on my eyes. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys on the next one.